Sean.
Marco.
We are here to deliver a message from the RSA Conference team.
It's an important message from our friends. RSA Conference 2025, just around the corner, where insights drive action, solutions emerge, and community connections spark innovation. You'll be there. I'll be there. We invite everybody else to be there April 28th through May 1st. You can secure your spot at rsaconference.com/ITSPMAG25. That's ITSPMAG25. See you all there.
I'll be there. See you there.
Marco.
Sean.
Vroom, vroom.
Vroom, vroom.
Yes.
Where we go over along the coast or through the valley?
You know,
you guys driving again?
We're driving this year.
We're back on the road.
Yes.
Yeah. After a few years.
I'll be arriving from LA this year.
Yeah.
So we figured we'll take the journey up.
There will be some surprise, like stopping somewhere
probably for us too.
In the middle of nowhere, probably, considering the road we're gonna do. But no, it's gonna be fun. Back to the origin.
I'm picturing Harris Ranch is on the stoppage points. have a good sniff of some cows.
Pass on that one.
But no, the journey up to see our good friends, including one who's here on with us, Mr. Tim Brown. Tim, how are you? It's good to see you.
Good to see you too.
It's been a while. And I'm excited to catch you in person. You have a busy week in San Francisco.
I do. Yeah, a lot of good sessions.
Yeah.
Should be a good RSA. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, there's a lot of energy this year. I don't know what it is. People just seem to be excited to get back together with each other and have some good conversations and be the one community that we all know supports each other. Maybe that's it. And a lot of good sessions this year. I know. Let's start with you have two sessions.
Yep.
On the main RSA agenda. Can you tell us a little bit about those two to kick things off?
Absolutely. So similar format on both of them. So one is the CISO Bootcamp. So that's those aspiring to be CISO. And we're just going to do an Ask Me Anything. So, been at SolarWinds for 8 years, went through a major incident. Lots of people have questions around, that. Lots of people have questions around kind of what all of the SEC stuff that went on are and kind of the process flow around that type of thing. So people have questions. So I love open forum. These will be closed door, Chatham House rules. So it can really be pretty open on answers on things. So look forward to for the bootcamp one. As well as the Cyber Leaders Forum.
Can I ask you one thing on the boot camp?
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity. So sadly, I can't be in there because press is not allowed.
You're not invited.
Mouse rules are in place. But do you expect most of the conversation to be around the incident, or do you think they'll be broader, more not necessarily more strategic, but broader, also strategic, and may perhaps even down into some tactical things, programmatic things?
Yeah, I think some of them will be, one of the things that we've seen, which is sad, is because of the stuff that's going on with me, people are hesitant to take that jump into the CISO role.
Mm-hmm.
So we see a lot of deputies that really don't want to take on the CISO role. So, I think one of the things that I'm trying to be as an ambassador to grow. Right. And the job is still a great job. It's a great role to have. It gives you a lot of not just importance, but a lot of decisions that you're driving the company towards the right direction. A lot of capability to set the design, set the goal, set the architecture. All of those things happen when you're the CISO. When you're the deputy, you're following somebody else. So it's really a great progression for people, and we'll get liability under control. So that will happen. And
you and Joe Sullivan are on the same mission on that front.
Yeah, absolutely. Joe didn't have support. I had great support. So that's our contrast. But we're both in full agreement that Yeah, it's a really important and great role that we need to encourage people to get into. So that's one of my big messages for the boot camp.
I think from at a human level, and for the industry and for the community, this is extremely important. I'm sure it wasn't an easy moment. It wasn't an easy moment for Joe, for you, or for anybody that find himself. But it's also, if the community comes together and there is understanding, there is growth. And
Yep.
maybe that's my question for you. I mean, I don't think people understand. People maybe afraid to ask that question, but maybe they shouldn't, as you said, because what? I mean, what happened after that?
Yeah, I mean, growth is important. And just remember, our industry is only 30 years old.
Right.
We're little children,
Mhm.
right? We're, accounting industry, hundreds of years, thousands of years old. So we're maturing. So, as we mature, we have to put controls in place. We have to put rules in place. We have to put safeguards in place. We have to, figure out what responsibility we have as CISOs, what responsibility we don't have as CISOs. So it's just a natural maturing model that we're going through. So that's the way that I look at it, and one that we'll get through, no question. And as we get through it, we all get better and stronger.
Yep.
We take less time thinking about it, more time, practicing and, operating the way that we need to.
Yeah. Yeah. Good guardrails in practice. We can make decisions based on experience and not have to figure out if our gut's telling us the right thing. So
Yep.
the other session, very, very similar, I think, in terms of
Format.
format.
Yep.
Different group. So the one we were just talking about is the CISO Bootcamp. The other one's Cyber Leader Forum.
Yeah.
So different roles in
Yeah.
there. What's that look
Yeah,
like?
absolutely. Invited forum. So it's invited folks that have been in the industry, CISOs, directors, deputies, those types of things. So more mature kind of audience, those who've been playing the role. In the last few years, I've met many. Haven't met everybody yet, so it's always good to go and talk to folks. The questions there, they will range from different things. We're focusing a lot on mental health and stress and how you manage stress. So that's one that comes up often. I'm not a great poster child for that one. I thought I managed stress well, had a heart attack, so I guess I wasn't managing it as well as I thought. But there's still just the realization of that, right? So we're all trying to develop our own methods to be able to manage through things. So important to be doing that. They'll talk about, liability, what controls we have, where we might be headed. Big questions on whether we need personal insurance as a CISO or not. So I expect that conversation will go in that direction.
Yeah, it makes sense. And for those two, so invitation only, is that people are already invited if they're to be included, or somebody can make a request
And
to
get
be,
in.
or third party
Yeah,
introduction to say, please include this person?
they can, but there is a waiting list. I heard the other day, so you can get on the waiting list for the session, but should be exciting. Should be kind of a full day or full series of presentations under that banner of CISO Bootcamp and CLF.
Yeah.
And here again is the value of the community, the sharing, the not hiding things under, in the closet or under the carpet and just pretend never happened. And not only in terms of breaches and the risk of the jobs, but also the personal aspect of this. And if I think Sean can definitely agree with me, and the industry's definitely changed. The community has changed. We jump on those kind of, either if they're closed door conversation or more open psychological, mental health conversation. People, they get booked. I mean,
Yep.
you just can't get in unless you jumped on it. So that means a lot, I think, again, for the maturity of the community.
It does. It does. And, I think we're just trying to get our guardrails set. And I think the industry as a whole is growing, and we'll get there. No question. So, in the last 4 years or last 2 years since I've been charged, the position's been elevated to different position, right? I think people have, CISOs are getting listened to more. Their expectations of a CISO are more. So I think those are good things. It'll be good to meet folk, good to talk to it. Yeah, in certain forums, I do open sessions as well. So, the other one is an open session, the Cloud Security Alliance. That's on Monday.
Yeah, tell us about that too.
Yeah, it's the summit.
Yeah. So that's Cloud Security Alliance Summit. They usually do it on Mondays, so this one's on Monday. Myself and Chris Hoff, who's the CISO for LastPass, goes by Hoff. So Hoff and I will close the session, the last session of the day. I think it's like 3:30. And we'll spend probably 20 minutes, half hour at most, talking about kind of what an incident is, and then take questions. That one is open. That one is recorded. That one, will be there for people to listen to. Or if they can get in, please feel free to, come visit.
Yeah, I can say that the CSA Summit is always a hit at RSA, and I've been to others as well. And Jim does a great job pulling everybody together, and I'm excited to see you and Hoff on the same stage at the same time. That's cool.
Yeah, it should be fun. And always good conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's on Monday. So you have, let's see, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 3 different sessions. So
Yep.
you have a little time in between your presentation and chats. What else are you doing?
A couple other things. So I've got on Wednesday morning, a crisis simulation. So we're going to run through an incident, simulate a crisis. One of the companies I'm on the advisory board for, Sytactic, them and Hyperwise. Yeah, Hyperwise. Wednesday AM around 7:30, they're doing a breakfast session. And in that, we're going to really walk through a crisis. We're going to walk through a tabletop. We're going to walk through, what a crisis looks like and what you should do and the flow you should use. One of the things that I discovered going through the Sunburst incident was, we're making decisions at the most, stressful time of our life. We have people making decisions. And there wasn't a lot of automation, not a lot of workflow out there, not a lot of guidance. So I came across the Sytactic folks who were really automating some of that process and helping with guidance, helping people make decisions with knowledge and help during that cycle. So that's what we're going to cover on Wednesday morning.
That's super cool. And Marco will probably echo what I say. I mean, even in non-stressful time, if you don't have a picture of something happen, what's next, which he and I are kind of working through some of those things for ourselves. If you don't have that in place, it can be stressful. In a time of stress, adding more stress can be overwhelming, which is not cool.
Yeah.
So not knowing, not having a plan is probably the worst thing.
Not knowing, not having a plan, not having an expectation, right? What should I expect, right?
Yeah.
And truthfully, that's where we were, and 4 years ago, trying to go through this. Lucky we had great guidance, and we had really good people who had gone through many of them. Yeah. So they really helped set some expectations. But it would have been much better if I had that experience of, oh, this is what I expect next. This is what I expect next. This is what I expect next. So those are the things we're trying to put into a platform to help people.
Yeah. And there is two ways. One, you're the one that is in the middle of it, as it happened to you, and then you use your experience to tell other people, look, you don't need to hit the head on the wall. Let me tell you, there are ways to handle it. But what I want to talk about for a minute, because you've been to many, obviously, RSA conferences and other conferences. You've been around for a very long time. And as I'm reflecting as you're talking about this thing, that be conscious about the fact that things will probably will happen. You need to be ready. Years ago, it was more like any vendor will be like, yeah, we just don't make it happen, and it was just setting up for failure. If I mean, not being ready because somebody tells you, yeah, you're waterproof 100%, you're good, it doesn't prepare you for reality.
No, no, not at all. And, we do our best. We can do the best we can to be able to be resilient. But bottom line is stuff can happen, right? And I think now the industry is looking at, well, if something happens, how do I limit exposure, right? How do I limit damage? I'm a real believer that the insider threat, it's going to grow. And that's going to become an easier method to be able to infiltrate a company.
Yeah.
So now we have to
Seeing a
think
lot of
about,
things on that already.
yeah, we have to think about modeling, right? What if so-and-so is compromised? And that comes into my planning and play today, as far as thinking about, okay, well, what if this person becomes compromised, right? Do they have the keys to the safe or do they not, right? What can we do to put in place to protect them, the person? What can we do to put in safeguards to protect the company? So we have to start thinking that way, because as we put more and more safeguards in place, it's going to become more it's going to become much more of a better business model to go after an insider than it is to infiltrate a company in other ways. Just to be cheaper, easier, all of those things. So we have to start thinking assume breach everywhere.
So we have preparedness for response. We have insider threat and identity risk management, if you will. What other things are you seeing shifting in the CISO role
Supply
that you've been
chain
looking for? Okay.
is a big one. Yeah. As a vendor and a consumer, right? One of the things that we see as very important is for us to understand what makes up our software, understand who built it, how they built it, be prepared for, some of the components potentially being tainted, right? We've had some wake-up calls on tainted libraries, and we have to take them seriously, because we're only seeing the ones we find, right? Not ones that have potentially been tainted for use by others that could be out there. So if we don't know they're in product, then how do we know what they're doing, right? How do we know what has been going on? So improvement in supply chain, improvement in requirements for vendors for supply chain, all of those things, more transparency, as we talked about, all important for us to move the needle, right? And, basically move the needle for everyone. We're not set up as
Right.
an industry to be able to handle the amount of data that comes from vendors. So we have to change that side of the world too. People aren't ready to consume the information yet.
Yeah. So there's the makeup of stuff, and then there's the runtime of stuff. Do you see that? Are we there yet?
No, we're
For
not there yet.
monitoring? Yeah.
Yeah, we're not there yet. I mean,
Yeah.
one of the problems is the monitoring of what's good and determining that traffic is good or bad, or the just like user behavior analytics, we need system behavior analytics, application behavior analytics. What is the normal characteristics of my software? And then if I go outside of that, something's going on, right?
Yeah.
So I think we'll get there.
Yeah.
I think we'll get there. You have to remember, technology is advancing so fast. And, we talked about AI from a potential perspective, but if you look at what AI can give us, how it could advance what we're doing and where it could advance deviation from normal, there's a lot of models that help. Things that we couldn't do because of lack of compute, lack of applications, we can start doing today. So that gets us excited.
Yep, sure is exciting. And you know what? I'm excited to see you there. I hope we get an opportunity to hang out. I know you're busy, but it will be nice to catch up. at a personal level with you and and many other people. That's why we go to these conferences, and that's the excitement, to learn from each other, but also to bring that human touch that we all need, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's always a great opportunity. So now you guys just have to drive safe
Yes.
and don't have any exciting times on the drive over.
Not too exciting, exactly.
Yeah, we'll probably record a podcast as we drive. We'll see.
Right.
It's a rental car. Who cares? Boy, stay away from the cows, Marco. That's all I'll say.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna go in.
Although some people are expecting cow shots in the podcast, but
No,
we'll have to see.
I don't know.
That's the
I
surprise.
don't know about that. That's a surprise. We'll see what happens. We'll
Yep,
see what
we'll
happens.
watch the adventures.
Yeah, but what I know for sure is that we are going to be there, of course. RSAC Conference 2025, and we'll get there on probably Saturday, hang out a little bit on Sunday, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is going to be full. That's the 28th to May 1st. And we are really excited, and everybody should stay on and follow us and subscribe, because pre-event, which also known as chats on the road,
Chats on the road.
and then a lot of content when we're there. Something really fun, something special too, like the DARPA. Setting up on Monday morning. That's how we're gonna start. So we'll get an inside with cameras and mics and talk to the people that are organizing this really fun new event, actually.
Excellent.
So that's gonna be fun. Stay tuned. And Sean, your final word.
I'm just excited to see my good friend Tim, and thrilled to know you're engaging with the community. I know people value you as you, and you as your role as a CISO, and I think the future is bright for that role. And I love that you're taking the time to help others understand what it means to them, and what it means to the community, what it means to our world as our businesses try to run safely. So kudos to you, my friend, for all you're doing. And if you can, get invited. If you can't, connect with Tim some way or another. And you can certainly see him and Hoff on stage at CSA for the closing there. So definitely that's one spot you can catch him on Monday. So thank you, Tim. It's good to see you, my friend.
Absolutely great to see you guys. We'll see you at RSA.
Yes,
absolutely.
Sean.
Marco.
We are here to deliver a message from the RSA Conference team.
It's an important message from our friends. RSA Conference 2025, just around the corner, where insights drive action, solutions emerge, and community connections spark innovation. You'll be there. I'll be there. We invite everybody else to be there April 28th through May 1st. You can secure your spot at rsaconference.com/ITSPMAG25. That's ITSPMAG25. See you all there.
I'll be there. See you there.